In 1994, a small country in Africa fell into one of the darkest moments in human history. In just 100 days, more than 800,000 people were killed. Neighbors turned against neighbors. Friends became enemies. A nation collapsed into fear, violence, and silence. This was Rwanda. But today, Rwanda tells a different story. A story of recovery, a story of discipline, a story of transformation. How did a nation fall so far and rise so fast? This is the story of Rwanda, from darkness to destiny. To understand the fall of Rwanda, we must go back in time. Rwanda was home to two main groups, Hutu and Tutsi. For many years, they lived together peacefully. They shared the same language, culture, and traditions. But division was not originally part of their identity. It was introduced and strengthened during colonial rule. When European powers arrived, especially the Belgians, they favored the Tutsi minority. They gave them better education, positions in government, and control over resources. The Hutu majority were left behind. This created deep resentment. Over time, identity became political. After Rwanda gained independence in 1962, power shifted to the Hutu majority. Now, the roles were reversed. Tutsis were marginalized, and cycles of revenge began. Tension increased year after year. Distrust grew, fear spread, and violence slowly built beneath the surface. Then, in April 1994, everything changed. The plane carrying Rwanda's president was shot down. Within hours, the country exploded into chaos. The genocide began. Armed groups and ordinary citizens took to the streets with weapons. People were hunted in their homes, in churches, and in schools. There was nowhere to hide. Families were destroyed, communities were erased, and the world stood by. International forces withdrew. Global leaders delayed action. Rwanda was left alone in its darkest hour. In just 100 days, the nation collapsed completely, socially, economically, and morally. When the violence finally ended, Rwanda was left in ruins. There was no trust between people. Institutions had collapsed. The economy was destroyed. The country faced a simple but powerful question. How do you rebuild a nation after such horror? A new leadership emerged, determined to rebuild the country. But instead of choosing revenge, they chose a different path. They chose unity. They removed ethnic labels from national identity. No more Hutu, no more Tutsi. Only one identity remained: Rwandan. This decision helped reduce division and rebuild a shared sense of belonging. The country also introduced community-based courts known as Gacaca. These courts allowed people to confess their crimes, tell the truth, and seek forgiveness. It was not a perfect system, but it allowed communities to begin healing. At the same time, the government took a strong stance against corruption. Public systems were rebuilt with accountability and discipline. Leaders focused on long-term development instead of short-term gains. Rwanda began investing in key sectors like education, technology, infrastructure, and tourism. The capital city became one of the cleanest and most organized cities in Africa. Security and stability were made a top priority. Strict laws ensured order and safety. As trust slowly returned, investors gained confidence. Businesses started growing. And step by step, Rwanda began to rise again. From aid dependency to economic growth. From instability to order. From silence to progress. Rwanda's story teaches us powerful lessons. First, division is dangerous. When people are divided based on identity, it can destroy entire nations. Second, leadership matters. Strong, focused leadership can guide a country through even the darkest times. Third, unity is more powerful than revenge. Choosing forgiveness does not mean forgetting, it means choosing a better future. Fourth, discipline builds nations. Clean systems, strong institutions, and accountability create lasting progress. And finally, a nation can rise again. No matter how deep the fall, recovery is always possible. Rwanda reminds us of something important. A country is not defined by its darkest moment. It is defined by how it rises from it, from tragedy to transformation, from division to unity, from collapse to growth. Rwanda chose to rise. The question is, what can we learn from it? If you found this story meaningful, share it with others. And stay connected for more powerful stories like this. This is Somaliseat, where we learn from the past to build a better future.